Do you know your mom? I'm Glenna Maggio, glennamaggio.com. Getting to know our moms can be interesting, especially if you've got a mom, if you're around my age, your 40s, 50s, 60s, and your mom is elderly. She's in her 70s, 80s, 90s. So the key thing to know is that she grew up in a very different time than we did. And I think we often forget that. And we always look at our childhood and the things that our moms gave us and didn't give us. And we struggle with that a lot in many cases. So you may have a really good relationship with your mom, or you may not have a good relationship with your mom. The truth is that it doesn't matter whether you have a good or not so good. Our moms impact our lives in ways that we can't even really imagine. My goal, though, is to help you to heal, grow, mend your relationship with your mom. It won't always be possible to make that connection with your mom, and I get that. I just know that it's not possible to mend some of those relationships. But you can mend it from your perspective so that you are not carrying around that guilt, that burden, however you see your relationship and the stress of, not being connected to your mom, because that is one of our deepest needs is our mom's love, our mom's approval, and all of that. And we really struggle with that if we don't get that through our life. But the truth is that it's important for us to really understand who she was and how she came to be the way she is. Because you got to remember that, any mom who had children in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and to some degree the 70s, they grew up in a very different time, because that means they were born in the, teens, 20s, 30s, and that those times were very different than when we grew up. And when we grew up, there was still a lot of, not a lot of expectations for women. There was definitely that expectation for women to look after the needs of others, and that was, the key goal. Of course, it was starting to change. Education, careers, those were really starting to become, more accepted for women, something that a lot more were doing. But for your mom's generation, there wasn't that expectation. And if she did that, she stepped outside the norm, which is absolutely beautiful and amazing. However, for a lot of moms, even those who did, it was still that expectation that they're going to get married, have kids, and look after everyone else, along with, getting their education, getting a career, whatever it might have been. So there's this belief that that's what women were meant to do. And so a lot of pressure on women to get things right, to have these kids. And then you didn't talk about it. You had no one to talk about, because you didn't share those kind of things. You didn't share your struggles. You didn't share when things weren't going well. And so, it really becomes kind of a difficult thing. And you do as you learn, right? I mean, if you're a mom, you understand that. It's not easy. And today, it's so much easier. I mean, there's so much out there and so much more connected and available for you to read and to talk about. It's just open, because being a mom is so amazing. Like it is one of the most beautiful gifts that we can be given, but it's not easy. It is really not easy. And some really get it right, and some really struggle with it. And so my goal is to help you to understand your mom so that you can grow, mend, and heal. But hopefully so that you can also grow, mend, and heal your relationship with your mom. My goal is that when we go into old age, we should be happy, healthy, connected, loved, and know that our lives mattered. And in many cases, I don't think our moms feel that way. A lot has to do with the times that they grew up in. But I know that in some cases, you won't be able to be the one to do that. But if you grow, mend, and heal, you can enter old age knowing that you are loved, mattered, feel connected, and just feel good about where you're at and about your life. I'm Glenna Maggio, glennamaggio.com.